Body and mind.
I'm just gonna do this last thing. I check out my streams on him a lot.
Time to act. Body and mind. Time to act. Body and mind. Time to act. Time to act. Time to act.
According to the letter...
General public. I'm afraid you'll have to leave.
Wait! We're not the general public!
Well then, you must be a couple of wandering outlanders that snuck into the nation, judging by your attire.
Are our clothes really so...
The Yashiro Commission's seal. This must be from Mr. Toma. It seems there's more to you than meets the eye. In which case, welcome to the Komore Tea House, a safe haven for the Yashiro Commission.
Okay, testing.
Well, that sounds more...
Just making sure. Oh yeah, before it ended for a second, that's why I was...
Well, now that we're here... Paimon doesn't seem...
Who forgot their promise? I was beginning to think you'd forgotten about me.
What?
Relax. No need to look so surprised. I take it this is the first time you've seen me in this form? Huh. So you didn't see anything like this when you were in Liyue Harbor?
Now that you mention it, this does suddenly seem less out of the ordinary.
Alright. I've had my fun.
Hey! You're this close to getting an ugly nickname, mister!
Well, I've had some time to kill, given that I've been waiting here for you for so long. So I came up with this little fun greeting for when you arrived. But in all seriousness, I would like to apologize about that little test you went through earlier. It helped us determine whether or not to bring you before Miss Kamisato, and whether you had the courage to face the lightning alongside us.
Don't think that Paimon's gonna forgive you just because you're getting all serious now.
Sorry, did I overdo it? My apologies. Let me just say this. Naturally, this is a long time ago. We had a friend. His light still burns all the... Yes, of course. But before that, there is one other place I was hoping you both would...
Oh?
I would like you to come with me to the statue of the omnipresent god. It's still under construction now, but you can already see it from practically anywhere on Narukami Island.
Okay.
Body and mind.
This area sure feels gloomy. Huh? Are Paimon...
Visions.
Visions? You mean all the visions that are collected from the Vision Hunt Decree are put into the statue?
So you've already heard of the Vision Hunt Decree. Before I try to explain, I should perhaps remind you first that Mondstadt is the city of freedom, and Liyue is the city of contract. As for Inazuma, It's known as the Nation of Eternity. The Raiden Shogun is both the nation's most powerful ruler and its deity. The Eternity in question is her endless and unchanging will to rule over Inazuma. As such, she relies on the Tri-Commission to regulate the nation's affairs and the Sakoku Decree to limit the people's movement. The Shogun wishes to keep Inazuma in stasis, allowing the stream of time to flow from one end to the other without disturbing it for all time.
Seems like every god has their own will.
Of course, this is my own limited understanding. As for the reason behind the recent Vision Hunt decree, perhaps the Shogun believes that visions grant people the power to change, and that her eternity doesn't allow for such instability to exist. Whatever the case, the fact is that the Raiden Shogun has dispatched the Tenryo Commission to scour the nation for visions, embedding each one in this statue. And this statue of the omnipresent god can be seen as Inazuma's symbol of eternity.
But if that's the case, wouldn't you say that the Raiden Shogun is being, I don't know, selfish?
Only outlanders such as yourselves would ever dare speak out so directly against the Raiden. And yet, I agree. The Vision Hunt decree is something that simply should not exist.
Okay,
and Miss
so
Kamisato has been committed to fighting it since the day it was announced.
Huh? Hey, are you okay?
Sound? What sound?
Yeah, you touched the statue, and then...
Aspirations? That would seem to confirm the same. Have you heard it before? That when a person's ambition reaches a certain strength, the gods look upon them with favor. That is where visions come from. In other words, a person's vision represents... So if what you just said is true, then the ambitions of these people are stronger than I imagined. Alright, time for the next stop on our tour of Narukami Island, the Kamisato residence.
Fine.
Time to act.
I might end up touching it here. Okay. What's that?
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Wow. Huh? All will be revealed in the next volume? Oh, drat.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
That's good.
Body and mind. Body and mind. Rain outlines your fate. find long-lost ancient literature.
Above here. Sorry. I have to use my skill on state, I was really annoying.
Time to act.
Guys, don't want that.
Work time! Time to work! Cool it! No slacking off! Let's end this quickly! Stay right there. Almost. Tell me you can't join!
No wonder there's a lot of stuff there.
You can't run! This should be fun. It isn't time for a break yet. Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun. What's this thing?
Eat this!
Cool it. Is it over? No excuse for slacking. Freeze. This is bad. You can't run. No slacking off. Get it together. I will end my work. Finished. Cool it. Don't be a killjoy. We've only just begun. I slipped up. You can't run. Dodge this. Well, neither can I.
Rain outlines your fate.
Isn't over. Looks like I went too far.
Oh, that took a lot long.
Endeavor. Body and mind.
Okay, What I'm gonna do as of right now, I'm gonna skin. That's all. A bow. It's probably best to in one spin, but you know, it is what it is. A bow. My P's gotta be low now. That's not just.
No, my sword!
Words. Cool it. Shouldn't get careless. Load of this. Freeze. It's not divine heat. Scream duty. Right there. Well done. Freeze.
Not good!
Cool it. This is battle. I guess this is it. You need to hurry up. Dodge. Cool it. Freeze. This one's well done. This one's well done. Dodge this. What's the hurry? You need to hurry up. This moment will be frozen. This one's well done. Dodge this. Unfortunate fault. Let's move. Cool it. Shouldn't get careless. Let's move.
No, my sword! Treasure hunting. A valiant endeavor.
It didn't go on it fast. Just count. Okay.
Body and mind.
Where's the which one we're going? That.
Rain outlines your fate.
But no, it's good. Be sure. Let's go.
Body and mind.
Dodge this.
I don't think I got all the down after what? Oh, come on.
How fortunate.
I feel like I'm gonna have to tap off it at one point because the girl thing is.
So, this is the kind of place where the big shots of Inazuma live, huh? Paimon kinda expected it to be snazzy.
Welcome at last to the Kamisato residence.
Is this the Shirazage Himegimi you keep going? Oh, behind the screen.
Yes. As the daughter of the Yashiro Commission, this is how Miss Kamisato is accustomed to receiving guests. Consider it a time-honored tradition within the Yashiro Commission. Forgive me if this is an unwelcome surprise.
Makes sense. She's a super important person after all.
Please forgive my lack of courtesy for receiving you in this fashion, especially following such a long and wearisome journey over the sea. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation, and Toma assures me that you do indeed possess the power to change the tide of the times. At present in Inazuma, in the name of the Vision Hunt Decree, the people's aspirations are being senselessly trampled underfoot. Though the Yashiro Commission serves the Shogun, it is the people with whom we share close bonds, given the contact we are required to have with them in the performance of our duties. A commission's power rises and falls with the trust of their people. Thus, we cannot remain indifferent to this situation without also remaining indifferent to our own fate. Traveler, lend us your power, and we can...
It still wants me to deny it. Okay.
Oh,
See, milady, it's just like I said. this will take us nowhere.
No, please! Wait! Please, don't go!
Just that.
I will introduce you to the Raiden Shogun on one condition. You must fulfill 3 small wishes on my behalf.
What are your wishes?
They pertain to 3 whose visions were taken from them. Perhaps once you've met them, you will understand.
A warrior who guards a village, a former samurai who helped carry out the Vision Hunt decree, and a swordmaster determined to become the best in the world. Does Paimon got that
Does
right?
that One Piece?
Correct. Please do all you can to help them.
I'm sure you'll do great.
No one's even here. No one's here. Like, who was I talking to?
What's the hurry? Huh. What's the hurry?
Oh, it's actually next to like a film studio.
Let's see. Where's the
Why are you doing this? Why leave all of a sudden?
Precisely. It's much too sudden. The children are desperate for you to take.
That must be the guy Ayaka told him.
If you want my opinion, something to do with the Vision Hunt decree, it's clear that Tejima... I can't claim to fully understand it, but I could tell that he'd lost something very important to him. He went off on a walk. Truth be told, we aren't sure whether trying to keep him here is the right thing.
Seems like he's a...
Ah, you must also be here to try and convince Tejima to stay. Tejima has protected keeping out the treasure hoarders, but now we will gladly apologize if that's the case.
We can't let him...
You must be Tejima. So what's made you want to up it?
Me? It's not a question of why
He
I
looked
want
way
to
younger,
leave,
Alice.
but a question of what reason I would have to stay. True, but that's not why I chose to stay, and what made me want to come here 30 years ago. And why have I never wanted to... I don't have answers to those questions. In the past...
Okay. Well, in that case, if we help you rediscover the reason you chose to stay, you won't need to leave it. Oh, maybe if you just try a...
Oh, that reminds me. Last time I brought Tejima some fruit.
I keep a diary? If you say so. I honestly can't seem to remember.
Oh, yes, you do. And what's more, I remember you saying at the time that you wanted to make a note of a few interesting things. Things which would prove very important at a later date.
Perfect! So if we want to keep Tejima from leaving, we just need to find his diary. It must be around here somewhere. Let's take a look.
If you don't mind, we will leave you to find the diary. We should head back to the village to inform the others of Tejima's situation.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
I'll be as great as Ryuji. I'll be as great as Ryuji.
I didn't know you were such a slacker. Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Seems all the other knights already have their hands full.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. 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 One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
I didn't know you were such a slacker.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji. One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place after all.
One day, I'll be as great as Ryuji.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was
It's my lucky day! To the very
No, my sword!
How's this? Finally,
Time to act. Body and mind.
oh, what's up?
This looks like Teijima's diary. Let's see what we have today. The villagers and I got together to cook dry braised salted fish. I messed up and burned mine a little. Today, I helped rescue a kid. I went kite flying today. The string broke, so I chased after it as fast as I could. Seems like your average diary of daily village life. Huh? I went to pray at the shrine again today and stayed there a while. The omamori you gave me has faded a little, but it is still my most... Now that's the kind of info we're looking for.
wish it could be like this all the time.
So this is the omamori page. Interesting. But anyway, if he had this with him all the time, there's a chance some of his elemental energy remained on it. The soil must be something pretty amazing if it made him stick around for 30 years. It looks like a letter. Konda Village. Sounds so familiar. Where is that place again? But he's been here for 30 years. Oh, guess they didn't show up in the end, huh? Well, let's go give Teijima...
Well, I'll be. That's certainly my handwriting. And I guess the Omamori and letter belong to me too. but I have no memory of anything that's written in this diary. Still, it's clear that I was waiting for someone here, and that I chose to wait for 30 years. Over the years, I must have made a note of anything interesting. Anything that I could share with her when we were finally reunited. And just look at all the things that did happen over the years. The time, how could I have forgotten something so important to me? Love, regret, no. Not especially. After all, I've forgotten who she was. It's as if she'd never been in my life to begin with. I think maybe not. Although, what if she were to turn up eventually? When I think about it like that, I do feel a slight tinge of sadness in my heart. How curious. Why am I thinking like this when I don't... I shall remain here.
Tejima seems to be dealing... Oh, seems it's just... That's certainly... At least we were able... According to Miss Kamisato, the second one who lost their vision is a samurai from the Tenryou Commission.
Okay.
Time to act.
They say the Tenryou Commission is directly controlled by the Shogun. They're the ones responsible for maintaining law and order in Inazuma. The ones actually enforcing the Vision Hunt Decree. But why would they take action against one... Paimon doesn't get it. Huh? There seems to be some commotion over there. Let's go see what...
I'll ask one more time. Do you intend to withhold this month's emergency provisions?
The entire clan is counting on that food. We demand an explanation.
How many times do I have to say it? I don't know anything about emergency provisions.
You dare deceive us? Those provisions are essential. Do you understand? Not some goods to be pocketed by greedy samurai.
You samurai think you can just do whatever you please? The Tenryou Commission will hear of this!
Oh, huh? And who are you?
What? We heard the commotion and came to see what...
I see. You seem to have come just at the right time. Perhaps this is Kurosawa. He's a samurai and a member of the Shogun's army. They issue emergency provisions to the area, and he's the one responsible for distribution. In the past, we'd simply ask him for provisions and everything would be delivered. Now, he suddenly refuses to give us any. He's keeping the provisions for himself. I just know it.
No one seems to care about us. We used to think Kurosawa was a kind man, but he's shown his true colors. It's no wonder all the visions have been confiscated. The Raiden Shogun doesn't need people like him helping her rule the nation.
This must be one of the people Ayaka asked us to help. But why would she ever want us to help someone like him? Maybe we should talk to Kurosawa and see what he has to say.
I've never even heard of these emergency provisions. I don't know whether it's rumors or whether they're trying to blackmail me. But either way, it's ridiculous. If I was hoarding supplies, would I still be the poor man I am today? My own family can barely get by as it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got other matters to attend to. And that's the first bit of truth I've heard all day. The Shogun's army told me that I was unworthy of my vision. And they said I was slacking off in my work. Apparently, I'd even disappointed the Raiden Shogun.
Well, that's strange. You were helping enforce the Vision Hunt Decree. Why would you be unworthy of your vision?
To be perfectly honest, I don't seem to remember the details. All I know is that I would perform certain things every month. And it's not just that. I have this unsettling feeling, like...
Does it have to do with the missing emergency provision?
I didn't take any. To top it all off, my house was just raided by treasure hoarders. Which is why I came here in the first place. If you don't believe me, go find the treasure hoarders yourself. If there were any emergency provisions to be had, they would have found them.
Huh. He seems to be telling the truth, but we better confirm. Let's go round up those treasure hoarders. We should be able to follow...
Body and mind.
We really outdid ourselves this time. All those samurai houses packed with goods. We really hit the jackpot.
You haven't seen anything yet. There'll be a lot more where this came from. Today's just the beginning. I'll be leading you all on an epic journey of pillage and plunder.
You demand, boss.
These seem like the treasure hoarders we're after.
Time to act.
Another subject.
Dodge this!
Cool it!
Oh, there goes all the Mora! We worked hard to steal that, you know? Come on, boss, think of something.
Not bad, kid. You ever think of joining the treasure hoarders? We could use someone like you. Kurosawa. Oh, so he's the one who sent you after us, huh? Just our luck.
So what did you see inside? Was it stuffed with food?
Food supplies? You kidding? That place was a complete mess. All we found was a strange-looking box, hopefully with valuables inside. I didn't want anyone else to see it, so I was planning on opening it myself once we got back. But now that you've caught us, how about we make a deal? That little...
You've got a deal! Now show us what's in the...
Huh?
What the...
There's nothing in here but IOUs!
Yeah, a lot of them too, and they all seem to be made out to the owner of a general goods store, a Miss Aoi. We're talking tons of Mora here. We better talk to this Miss Aoi and get... As for you guys, you're free to go. Just pray that our paths don't...
Yes. So, we redeemed ourselves for some IOUs. Does that mean we broke even?
Shut it. Let's just get out of here.
Maybe you broke even.
What's the hurry?
Welcome to Tsukumomono Groceries. We've got, or perhaps, there's something you want to inquire about? Ah, so you're friends of Kurosawa, I take it? Perhaps you're here to pay off...
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just here to learn where they all came from. How did Kurosawa end up owing you so much money? Did he buy anything super...
Let me think. Kurosawa would come regularly to purchase large quantities of foodstuffs. He'd always put the payment on his own account. However, the price of provisions began to skyrocket recently, and his salary was no longer enough to cover the cost. So, he started writing out IOUs to cover whatever he couldn't afford of the usual amount.
So that's how he was getting those emergency provisions. But why did he have to purchase a usual amount? If the prices increased, couldn't he just buy...
Well, if you think about it, the citizens receiving the emergency provisions must have been carefully calculating how much they needed to sustain them each time. Kurosawa thought that it would be quite the disappointment for them if they found they didn't have enough, especially after such long and careful planning. So he deemed it necessary to take on the debt rather than let the people down.
Wow. And no one never appreciated...
People's attitudes will always reflect their circumstance. If you... Of course, I'm sure there would still have been some unrest. As for what... If you're still curious, why don't you go ask him yourself? I see. That reminds me... Most unfortunate. If he doesn't clear the debt on his name, he'll have no choice but to sell that sword that is so dear to him.
Sword?
Oh, didn't he tell you? He possesses a very valuable... I've asked him about its origins. He told me that it was a gift from his father, that it was too precious to sell. In hindsight, I regret that I never made an offer on it. Everything has its price, at least that's what I think. Why don't you ask him about the sword yourself? Perhaps it'll even provide you with the... Oh, but before you go, if you would kindly settle today's...
But we didn't...
Information is also a kind of commodity, wouldn't you agree? Don't worry, I won't charge much for information.
At least we now know where the emergency provisions are coming from. Let's go talk to Kurt.
So am I going back to that now?
What?
I presented them with a choice. Either they left or I drew my sword. They left. It turned out to be a real time saver, actually. Perhaps I should start using it more often. Did you manage to track down the treasure hoarders? Everything...
That just about sums it up.
Strange. Is that really the kind of person I was? I don't really have any such recollection. Why was I purchasing emergency provisions for everyone? And why would I put myself in such a difficult situation? I really don't understand, but I cannot deny that when I brandished my sword to scare those two away, I could sense that my body was somehow reluctant to... This sword was once wielded. I remember once... What did he say? I don't seem to remember that either. It would seem that I forgot many important things when my vision was taken from me. So many memories gone. Forever. No matter how hard I try to remember, all I can remember now is my father telling me that this blade bore his life's creed. Before he passed away, he placed the sword in my hands and said to me, "With this sword, you should..."
Hey, if you look carefully, there seems to be some words engraved on the hilt. Can you recognize the words?
Virtue? Somehow those taking on seemingly endless debts to make others happy. But what use are virtue and justice? The Tenryo Commission seized my vision. And the very people I was so desperately trying... And the irony of I'm incapable of being...
Yet another. When we get the chance... In any case, we must never let him sell off that sword. Yeah. Fortunately for us, let's go find the next...
Don't you face again, or say I'll go first.
The third person who had their vision taken is supposed to be a famous... Hyman heard that he's the present-day... This is his dojo.
Nanako, don't... Those thugs that jump...
Maybe, but things have gotten
It's just because he's been...
Hey there!
Who are you? I don't care whether you're Don't make me draw my blade, or you...
No! You got it so wrong!
disciple?
Yep, but then we got here and overheard you talking.
Please, accept my apologies. We've had so many people trying to cause us trouble recently that we're on high. You haven't arrived at the best of times, I'm afraid. Sensei got possessed recently, and he's still recovering. He's not able to take on any new disciples for the time being. I see you are... Sensei's name is... Though self-taught, he once said that his goal... And so... But then...
Not long ago, Sensei, he says the strange Junya and I have... But if I'm honest...
The Grand Naru...
You haven't heard of it? Not that we'd have... So don't worry, Nanako. The exorcism will take place this evening.
So...
Shh. So you decided to come. It's a good thing you didn't arrive any earlier. You would have had to witness Sensei one of his... Just now, when she asked him who... It looked like he was in... All the while he kept... One of them was... Sensei witnessed... The ritual has now begun. Please, excuse me for a moment.
Huh? Who's that sneaking up? We won't let them get away! Seems they aren't here. Should we keep going further up? Is this definitely the right place? Let's look a little further. Aha! Suspicious person!
How? Are you sure you're Domon's disciples? You move even quicker than he does, unless... I guess it's been a few years.
Excuse, and what are you doing?
Bad news? I'll have you know I trained side by side with Domon back in the day. I don't care to talk about that time anymore. But if you...
His senior?
Anzai? Yes, because I don't wish to see Domon or anyone else associated with him ever again. When we were young, we trained on... I had begun training practitioners of make... But Domon was different. Sensei scolded him and told him that the art of the sword should not be used for such vain ends. I thought so too at the time. Only then did I realize that it was Domon who had long since freed his mind from all He was consumed.
Sure sounds like he...
Because until he... Of all the disciples, I was the most gifted. Domon's arrival changed everything. Later, after that I wanted nothing further to do with him. So, I decided to quit. So you see... Okay, you've heard my story.
Seems like still...
What? You're saying, does that mean he's just lost his mind? But how...
Nanako.
I am sorry, but spirits may take a myriad of forms in this world, many of which I cannot claim to have witnessed myself. And all is certainly not lost, for I received word not long ago that Lady Yai has taken an interest in your sensei's case.
Lady Yai? Is that...
The head shrine maiden of the Grand Naru...
Correct. Lady Yai is most knowledgeable in... I am unable to say for certain whether an evil spirit has possessed your sensei, but Lady Yai can give a conclusion.
Excuse me, Miss Inagi, but I must ask... Should we prepare a greeting gift?
That won't be necessary. All that is required of you is your timely arrival at the Grand Narukami Shrine. Lady Yai does not like to be kept waiting. I must leave now.
Who'd have thought Lady Yai herself?
Do you mean to say that Sensei isn't renowned enough to deserve Lady Yai's attention?
No, that's not what I meant at all. I just mean this is Lady Yai, the head shrine maiden. She has direct and close contact with the almighty Shogun herself. Anyway, you should join us too. Given that you've traveled all this way just to meet our sensei, we, the disciples of Meikyo Shisui Art, will do our best to help.
Sure! Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to find out a thing or two.
Okay, I would only play for just one, but honestly, the place in that tough here. But that's all I'm gonna do the rest of this tomorrow, or whenever I'm on the game.